Finished the new Ozzy documentary and wanted to capture my immediate thoughts. Just that's crazy. Like he held on to the very end and um, literally just pass. He held on just to play the show. I knew that the show was coming up the last few months, but I didn't realize he was just like getting worse and worse. Like every month going up to the show, and they started physical training, and it was like barely at all looking up for how much they had been through the last few years, but really it was just there was no way out. I think there was a lot of almost, I don't know if it's confusion or just like like what does the next year or two like, and then suddenly it makes sense. So unfortunately that there's not a next year or two. But it's amazing all the times he stuck it out, and he lived pain for months and months without end, and just his body was collapsing. Every time they'd fix a problem, there would be two more problems. It's just sad. I remember being in the 2018, 2019 times. I had just seen Ozzy, and then he just came out with that Under the Graveyard song, and I was like, whoa, this is not just um, nostalgic rocker. This is like an actual like Ozzy hit that I'll listen to forever. And it's crazy. I just remember the motions, like seeing him in 2022, and he was still standing and being on stage. Little did I know that it was really difficult even back then for him. And he's basically in between. It seems like every time he's in the studio or every time he's playing live, it just gives him this huge rush of energy that no science or medical can explain, but it's like a superpower. And he walked off the stage without a cane in 2022 and was like, I'm going to go home and do all this physical therapy and continue the tour. He was on such a high. And the part that gets him or any human is you sleep and you wake up the next day and you're just not feeling that same buzz, and it's back to being sick. Like, how do you get out of this where you now all of a sudden you really don't want to do all the things that you should? It's not even a matter of not wanting to. It's absolutely a matter of not being able to. And so yeah, it's just a reoccurring thing the last 5 years of like him getting on stage, barely making it, having the superpower, and then in between the shows, just like trying to stay alive. And till the very end, it was like, oh my gosh, he couldn't even, he could hardly make it to England. And by the time he made it to England, he was like, they were like proud he could walk for 10 minutes. You know, it was just like, it just didn't make sense. And so, yeah, it's crazy that they were able to put on such a big celebration. Sharon deserves so much credit as the Rock's one of the greatest managers and business people of all time. And I can't believe how well she puts events together, makes things into events, which might be the hardest part. Communicates so well on the business side. I got to see a little bit of that of her, or we get to see in this new documentary of her doing some FaceTimes and organizing the event and some behind the scenes, which I think is really cool. I could always see more of Sharon talking about the business side. I hope to see more of that. And yeah, it came down to the event. Looked like an awesome event. I was not there because I stayed up all night, 2 or 3 nights in a row, trying to get tickets, and every time my queue went through, all the tickets were sold out, except for like one, $2,000 or $3,000 ticket. And I was like, should I buy that? And while I was thinking, it was like gone. So I would have been there if I could have been there. And I've shared this thought with probably thousands of people across the world. Does not make me unique in any way. So many people loved Ozzy. he even said how after the show he was planning on upping his physical therapy and going really hard at it, and just they saw a lot of hope. He saw a lot of hope. Like I said, they improved from a 2 minute walk to 10 minute walk, and it's just amazing that just like immediately after the show, there he goes. He put his everything into the last bit, and the hope of the show absolutely was the superpower that no medicine could ever do. So he had a great legacy, and he enriched all our lives with all kinds of emotions. But I guess one thing to think about is that we can take from Ozzy is find the thing that gets you in your flow state that cancels out all the problems, and figure out what it is for you. Because when things happen and the medicine just isn't enough, I guess, and I know every situation's complicated and difficult, and there's no easy solution, but he shows one template of trying to cope and stay as strong as possible in difficult times, which is to do what you love and keep pushing yourself to do what you love, and put a date on the calendar ahead of time. Something to look forward to, I guess. I'm just thinking this out loud for the first time, but I guess it's a good lesson for myself. I'm Alex Goff. I'm a rock musician out of LA. I play all the instruments in my music, and I make all this content about what's going on with rock news. So please consider following me to stay up to date with the latest that's going on. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Love you, Ozzy Osbourne.